Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Positively Disney Phone and Show. I'm Kimberley Bouchard, your host of the podcast and the author of the best-selling series, The Positively Disney Books. And I am so glad you could join me today. Welcome to all my Facebook folks, as well as my Twitch TV watchers as well. You know, it has been an incredible weekend for our family again. We actually ended up having so we're a family of five, and our family of five were in 3 different countries this weekend. So it was kind of crazy and kind of busy, but all good. And something I wanted to share with you is I don't know if you've ever had a chance to take a look, but I did actually do a recording of the Disney store in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, that I did post on my Facebook page, the Disney Book Facebook page. But while I was in Vancouver, British Columbia this weekend, my husband actually, one of his stops, he has 5 different countries in 2 weeks, and one of his stops was actually Paris. And he went to the Disney store on Champs-Élysées in Paris. So I'm quite excited to hear about his experience in there as well. And he did actually, as he always does, is gets me a little something if he's in a Disney store in another part of the world. And something that I really discovered and was really excited about, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm kind of missing Disney, I mean, we don't live near a park at all. And there's a lot of you out there that, you know, can't get to the parks. And we just can't very, very often as I would like. But when I am missing Disney, I love to just walk into a Disney store and pretend I'm there. So it was really fun to be in the Disney store in Vancouver because it was so different than the Seattle store. And what I discovered was something that is just coming out, and they had a few things in, but it's coming up more and more, is called Disney Eats. And what they had on display in there were these cute mixing bowls, whisks, pancake flippers. They had these adorable aprons, 3 different kinds of aprons, Mickey chef hat, different things for making, 3D cookies of Minnie and Mickey. They had these really cool measuring cups and food storage boxes. It was so incredible. And actually the manager told me that they actually are getting more in, and they're going to have a cooking display for Disney. I thought, what a brilliant idea. What a way to get kids excited about baking and cooking. So that's something that they're bringing into their store. I have no idea if that's going to be in the other Disney stores around the world, but I just thought it was really fun. And I had a really hard time figuring out what I was going to get in that store because it was very overwhelming. It was quite a large store, larger than the Glasgow store that I was in last month. But I did get something that I was really happy about. You, of course, had to make a purchase, but there wasn't like you had to buy something more than $50 or whatever. It was just like any purchase. And then you could either buy a big Mickey Mouse round towel that was watermelon kind of themed, or this is what I got. I don't know whether you can see it, but it is a really cool cooler bag, a cute cooler bag. And it's got, you know, of course, the Mickeys on there. And it's a good size. It could actually hold a lot of lunch in there and a few ice packs in that. And I got it for $12 Canadian. And I had just bought myself a little tank top with pineapples on it, with little hidden Mickeys and Minnie Mouse. And I absolutely had a great time with that. So I thought, oh, I got to get something for my $12, and I got the little cooler bag. So I actually have the tank top that kind of matches it that I'll wear in the Disney parks. I thought I'd be able to wear it this week. I thought it would be a little warmer here, but for some reason we're kind of back into a little bit of a cold spell in Seattle. Not like last week when we were just melting. We had like Florida weather, and Seattleites are kind of funny because we're not used to hot weather like we had last week. No complaints for me. I love it all the way around because I'm a Floridian at heart. But anyways, it was great fun to be in there. And I can't wait to see what my husband will show me from his trip at the Paris Disney store. Some of you guys are sometimes a little bit shy about calling in. And trust me, it's just very easy to call 844-483-4763. And if you want to say hello or tell me about anything, you're more than welcome to. I do want to welcome Mike Flynn that's joined, my hubby, who is, I think he's heading off to Ireland today. He's in the UK right now. He's joined me. Thank you. And Cheyenne Christopherson joined. Hello. And John Harrison, I wanted to say a little hello as well to you guys and welcome to the show. Sometimes I find that people planning a trip to a park, and I will have to refer to Walt Disney World because I've been to Disneyland several times, but I these kinds of things that I'm going to tell you about aren't at Disneyland. They're at Walt Disney World. And I don't know if you know this, or I'm sure you've probably seen them, but the watercraft out there available for you to rent. I will never forget our first experience renting one of those pontoon boats, actually, because the kids were really little and we just wanted to do a little putzing around, the water. And it was so much fun. I think we were at Port Orleans Riverside staying there at the time. And we rented this pontoon and it was so relaxing. It was very slow actually, but so relaxing. And we actually went over to Disney Springs, stopped for a little lemonade and just had a really relaxing, fun time on it. And the pontoon boats, they're not too expensive to rent. At least at that time, they weren't. And you could get a lot of people on there. As I said, there was just the 5 of us on there. And it wasn't too difficult to park. They have lots of bumper pads on the side, especially for first time boaters or whatever. But it was really fun. And I highly recommend just kind of trying it out. And you can also just bring a little lunch on there if you want and just go putzing around the water. It's really, really fun. And I have seen, of course, the parasailing and the quicker watercraft out there as well that you can use. But I highly recommend, if you have the time and just want something different to do on a really hot day, just take out one of the boats and just go for a little relaxing cruise. And it was actually interesting because it was after that, I think it was a couple of years after that we actually ended up buying a boat. We had loved just kind of going on the water so much. At any rate, the number to call again, 844-483-4763 if you are wanting to call in. Something that I have been really fortunate to do. My family is really thoughtful in different gifts that I've received over the years for Mother's Day or my birthday or whatever. And one of the gifts that I got that I will share with you, which is another really, really interesting Disney experience at Walt Disney World, was the Richard Petty racetrack there by Magic Kingdom. Now, I like to drive, and I like to drive stick shift, and I like to go fast, but I know that, I can't do that on the street. But I do love that experience. So my family actually ended up getting me the excursion or whatever, the Richard Petty driving experience. And something about that is you have different choices. So at the time, you had a choice of being a passenger in a car with a professional race car driver. And I remember seeing on the internet about the girl that was along with a professional driver, and she was screaming her head off. She was terrified. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't want to be going with a professional driver. I don't know how many miles an hour being taken around. And then you had choices of 3 different lap packages. I think one was like 3 to 5 laps. Another one was 11 laps. And then another one was 33 laps. And being that my family realized that I really wanted the experience, they signed me up for the 33 laps. I was the only one in the group with 33 laps. And how it works is they do some briefing with you. You do have to kind of know a little bit about the rules, about the flags and things like that, because you are in a race car. It's quite a get up. You have to put on a suit, which I was swimming in because for some reason I think mostly men do that. And you had to put on the special fire repellent hood, and you had to put on the helmet. And oh darn, I was going to bring up my Richard Petty helmet as well as my plaque to show that I actually did it. At any rate, then you have to go into the side of the window, and it's a little awkward trying to get in there, and you are in there like solid, and you've got the fire extinguisher in case anything happens, and you are ready to go. Now, one thing that they do provide for you is they provide you with a pace car. So the guy in front of you, of course, the professional driver, he's driving fast, and he is wanting you to try to follow him. So the first time out on the track, you realize that, oh my gosh, this is not a Disney ride. In other words, this is the real thing. I just thought I'd say hi to Stan. Stan, I'm glad you joined us, and hi to Jeff Allen as well. Anyways, so I'm driving on around this, and it is hard. I will tell you guys, I had great respect for those NASCAR racers because my arms were so tired. My butt was so sore after driving the distance. It was crazy. And there were 3 turns, and I tried to go as fast as I could, but that third turn, I really didn't want to lose control of the car. And I managed to do my lap. My laps I went 119 miles an hour. But what happened is about at lap 11, when a lot of the other cars had come in initially, they called me in after lap 11 to give me some water, because honestly, you are so thirsty and so hot. And of course, you can't do any of that in your car because you're hanging on for dear life. But another thing that was so cool about it is they actually have a camera recording your expressions, what you have to say, what you end up saying, what you're commentating, as well as outside. It was wild. It was so fun. And it was one of those experiences that if you ever want to drive a race car, check out the Richard Petty driving experience at Walt Disney World. And I'm not sure if I can send my son down to show you the plaque. I'll see what I can bring up here to show you guys while I'm podcasting tonight. So anybody wanting to call in, 844-483-4763. Well, I have to tell you that one of our favorite parks, as I have spoken, I should say resort parks that I have spoken about before and absolutely love, is Fort Wilderness. And there are different activities to do at the resorts besides swimming and just cycling around or whatever in the various parks. This particular park at Fort Wilderness Campground and cabins, you actually have activities besides the fishing. They do fishing types of things as well off the dock. Is they have archery, and they take you out to an archery area, and it is great fun. I know my sons really, really enjoyed it, and I'm actually going to take that caller, and I'll continue in a second. Hello, welcome to the show. Who am I speaking to?
Tisha.
Oh, hi, Tisha. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm trying to watch the show, but I can't hear it, so I thought I'd call in.
Oh,
so, hi, everybody. I don't know if I'm on live yet.
Okay, yes, you are on. Actually, you are on. So, yeah, you probably have a story or two to share with us, don't you?
Hi. So I know. Should I share one of the stories that I've told you before, or
you can share whatever you'd like? So, I actually ended up speaking with Tisha just after the show last week, and she had some really, really neat stories. So I'm going to leave it up to you, Tisha, what you want to share about a Disney experience. And it could be something that you've told me about, because these people weren't on our conversation. So go ahead, whatever you want.
Oh, well, I've read her books a lot, and I really love all the Disney experiences that people have had, and I have had a lot of Disney experiences outside of the parks. I'm not really close to the parks myself, but I do a lot of charity work. Myself, I actually am a friend of Anna, but we shouldn't say that, but but I do charity work as Anna and do that. And outside of that, I have actually also worked as a writer for Movie Pilot, and in doing that have met many voice actors who work for Disney, including Bill Farmer, who is the voice of Goofy right now. And I interviewed him, actually. I met Chris Evans, who is obviously Captain America.
Yeah.
And I have met quite a few actors. Jess Harnell, who was on Sophia the First, who is also the voice of Wacko from Animaniacs. He's more well known for that.
Yeah.
And then I've also actually I was actually at the premiere of Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
The live action movie. And I'm actually going to be meeting the stars of the animated movie in a few months here. I'm going to be meeting Paige O'Hara and Robbie Benson, who play.
You played the Beast?
Two stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Gosh, you're really fortunate to be able to meet up with these people. I think that is absolutely fantastic. What is there anything that stands out in your mind, particularly when you were either interviewing some of these folks, or is there something since we know that you know Anna very well, is there anything that stands out in your mind as a particular incident from that?
Well, Anna, being a friend of Anna, it's actually kind of, I mean, I told you I have cerebral palsy, so it's kind of funny because I walk around with a cane a lot, or I'll be in a wheelchair, so kids will notice that, and they'll be like, well, what happened? And I'll kind of play up that, but I'll be like, oh, well, I'm clumsy, so we went ice skating and I hurt myself. But kids actually appreciate that more, because they'll be like, oh, well, Anna's in a wheelchair like me, or like they'll see that and they actually like that. They don't question that. People who and it's funny because there is actually a very elitism in cosplay, where in my area especially, people are very elitist. So I kind of actually stopped being a volunteer and just done events like Comic-Con and stuff in my area, instead of doing volunteer as much, because it's become very elitist.
Okay.
But I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
So I'm more into just, going and doing events as, just Comic-Con and meeting kids.
Isn't that wonderful?
Just dressing up.
Yeah. Isn't that neat, Tisha?
They don't care.
Yeah.
They're just glad to meet the character.
That's right.
Know? I mean, I have tattoos up and down my arm, and they're just like, I don't see that. They see glasses, and like, I just take it off, and they're like, oh, okay, there's Anna.
Okay. No, that, and it's very nice that you can that the children can relate, especially if they're in a wheelchair, or if they're, with a cane or crutches or something like that, to see that, hey, things happen to other people, and things happen to princesses as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, things can happen to princesses. They're especially she's classy. Yeah. So they're like, I always have an answer on the tip of my tongue. Like they're like, "Where's Kristoff?" "Oh, he had to go harvest some ice," and you know. And I watch a lot of Disney princess videos to kind of like come up with questions on the tip of my tongue.
Oh, that's
and
great.
I mean, when I met Bill Farmer, he was really so sweet. He's like the sweetest guy, and he's really funny. And Jess and I, he's my con boyfriend. Like Andrew's all jealous of him, my fiance, because Jess is like my con boyfriend. He gives me a big hug and a kiss. I'll be in full costume, you know, with a mask on because I do Harley Quinn too, and he'll be like, "No, I know who you are.
Oh,
you can't hide from me."
And how did you meet Bill? How did you end up meeting Bill?
I actually live close. There are like 3 huge Comic Cons in the U.S. Not to brag, but there's San Diego, there's New York, and I live near Salt Lake.
Okay.
And Salt Lake is a very a new Comic Con, but then you can't use that term technically. We actually got sued, so we have to call it Fan X now.
Okay.
So it's the 3rd largest Comic Con in the U.S. now,
Okay.
and every time we have it, it trends worldwide.
Oh, nice.
So it's actually a very large con, and we've had a lot of celebrities here. We had Jodie Benson last year.
Right. The voice, and if anybody's not sure, I want to let people know that she was the voice of Belle in the original animation.
No, she was the voice of Ariel.
I mean Ariel. Sorry. You know what? I was thinking Paige O'Hara because you were going to meet Paige O'Hara in a couple months, so I was still thinking Beauty and the Beast. Of course, Jodie Benson was. I even heard her sing actually.
But she has done the voice of Belle in a few things.
Yeah.
Yes. But Paige O'Hara is coming back as Belle in Wreck-It Ralph too.
Yeah.
So,
gosh, there's so many awesome animation, movie. I mean, just Disney's just on that amazing roll right now with so many different animations and the live actions coming out. I can't wait to see them. And when you said you see a lot of shows, of course, if you know Anna and talking about Kristoff. So one of my son's names is Kristoff, and we always go to the Disney movies and it's so funny. It was particularly funny when we had gone to that one. You'd hear his name and he kind of like perk up a little bit, because what you do if you hear your name, especially if it's on the live screen. But thank you, Tisha, so much for sharing with us. I really appreciate that, and please feel free to call in again and have a great night. Yeah.
I'll call in when I've met Paige and Robbie, so you guys will have to come back for that. And thanks, Mike. I saw your comments, by the way.
Oh,
so thank you, Mike.
Oh, okay.
So I'll call back in when I meet Paige and Robbie.
Please, yeah, that sounds wonderful, and we'll keep in touch as well, Tisha. All right.
Yeah, I'll email you. I've been meaning to do that, so I'll email you.
That's fine. All right, thanks. Okay, have a good night. Take care. Okay, bye for now.
I know.
I just actually wanted to say a quick hi to Lewis and Robert Leibowitz. He's actually got a story in the 4th book. And hi, Beth. Beth is joining us, and Mike Preza. Nice that you could join us as well tonight, Mike. And actually, Mike Preza and his wife are going to be in the 4th book as well. And I'm not going to tell you anything more about that because it's going to be a surprise for anybody that is following my series and reading the books. So I was actually just really talking about the different fun things that you can do in the resorts. And there's some people that I've met that go to Walt Disney World, but they don't actually make it into the parks. They actually just enjoy the resorts and all of the different things that you can find in the area of Walt Disney World, because there are so many things that you can do without having to go to the park. And I'm going to backtrack here. So my Richard Petty experience, I will have proof that I was on there, and I will show you. I hope you guys can see this. This is a helmet that says Richard Petty on there. And I have to tell you, when I got it as part of my gift from my family, actually, there's a little bit of his blood in the helmet. I couldn't believe it, a spot of it. But he must have been sweating blood and bullets when he was wearing this hat. But anyways, so this was my helmet that I wore that I won't try on now. But it was such a good time. Oh yeah, and my son, sorry, my right hand man here, my young man, my son, he's a techie guy. He, you can actually see Richard has signed it, so it's just a lot of good fun, I'll tell you. You know, I have to share with you that there are other Disney resorts besides those at Walt Disney World, Disneyland Paris, and that sometimes get overlooked by people. And we had the great opportunity to go to Vero Beach. I don't know if any of you guys have been to the Vero Beach resort. It is absolutely fantastic because it is kind of like you've gone back in time. It's an hour and a half from the Walt Disney World Resort, and it really, really is a very slow pace. And what I love about that resort, I love everything about the resort, quite frankly, but the ocean, the beach and the ocean is actually just divided by a pathway, and then you can access the pool. And it is really cool because between May and October, I believe, is the nesting season for all the turtles there. And so you will see the mounds of turtles. And most times they have conservationists going out there before anybody else is on the beach, probably about 5 a.m, flagging those to just make us tourists, us guests, aware that there are turtle eggs there. And something that we always do when we are there is we always try to take in something educational. So when we saw the accessibility of the turtles yesterday, and you could actually see them out in the water. So we'd be out swimming and you could see the turtles waiting to come in because they will nest day or night out there. And we could see them, and they're very conscientious of people. So if there's not a place for them that they feel safe to come in to nest, they won't. They'll just hang out in the water until it's dark and they will come in. And it was the coolest thing to actually go on a conservation walk from Vero Beach and see these turtles nesting. And honestly, we were 2 feet away from the turtle when she was dropping her eggs, and they kind of go into a trance. And it was just an amazing experience. And so I really, really love Vero Beach. And of course, Disney's all about taking care of the animals, the creatures around, whether they're part of the property or off the property. And Vero Beach is no different. Vero Beach has a lot of tall hedges around the property, especially between the property itself and the road. And one thing that we found out why is because they do not want the turtles mistaking the headlights and the lights on the road as the light of the moon, because they will head the wrong direction. So Disney is so careful about that. And the shrub, because we were kind of wondering why there were such high shrubbery, blocking the whole road and all of that. And that's because they want to protect the turtles so that they can nest in a safe place as well. Louis Ramos, I like turtles. I like turtles too, very much so. Actually, I'm a huge lover of animals, of all sorts of animals. I don't care for snakes, but I wouldn't hurt them either, or alligators. I just really respect the animals on our planet. Beth Brooks says Vero Beach is lovely. It is Hilton Head Resort, as is Hilton Head Resort. Yeah, I've not been to the Hilton Head Resort, the Disney resort there. I'm not too sure what they offer, but I know Vero Beach, what is really fun is the huge porches and the porch swings that they have there, the rocking chairs. As I said, it's It's a Disney place that you can just relax in. You can absolutely just relax and have that family vacation. Want to say hi quickly to Todd and Ida, who have joined us as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. Something else that I wanted to tell you about Vero Beach. So one of my go-to snacks are Dole Whips. I'm sorry, but I can't get Dole Whips in Seattle. And my, I guess, try at making a Dole Whip with some ice cream and pineapple juice was an epic fail. So I really, really appreciate when I can get a Dole Whip. And I even appreciate it more when I don't have to go to the Dole Whip lineup in Magic Kingdom where hundreds of other people are going. So if you want to get Dole Whip other than there, you can actually get Dole Whip at Vero Beach. I mean, it's an hour and a half away, but if you are there, you can get Vero Beach get the Dole Whip. And you can also get the Dole Whip at the Polynesian Resort. And I just want to say a quick hello to the bacon guy on Twitch TV. It's Tactical Bacon on Twitch. That's a brilliant name. Actually, love that name. Welcome from my Twitch TV folks, and want to also say hi to Becky. Welcome to Becky. Something that I'm really excited about, and it's hard to believe it's May 30th, but I am actually going to be at Walt Disney World 2 months from today. So I actually can book my fast passes when I get off the podcast. I can start booking for my visit, and have no idea where I'm going to be what day, but I know that I'm definitely not going to be at the new Toy Story Land when it opens on the 30th. All right, I'm going to go to another caller I've got coming in. Hello, welcome to the show. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
You're speaking to Bacon.
Oh, you're the bacon guy from Twitch. Welcome. You know what? You're my first caller. Hello. Did I lose you? Oh, I might have lost you. That's fine. We'll find you back. Stan was saying that he has also bought the ingredients to try and make a Dole Whip. Did it work, Stan? I wonder. He's also saying you can get it at Pop Century as well. Beth has a little secret to bypassing long lines at Aloha Isle is online ordering at Magic Kingdom. That's right. We discovered that they do have online ordering when we were there in December, but we never actually took part in that, and I'm sorry that we didn't. We will have to do that next time. So there's an app, I would imagine, for online ordering, or it's part of My Disney Experience. I'm not too sure. You guys that are locals there can let me know. Todd, you have done mobile ordering as well. So is there a certain time limit? Is it no wait, and do they have another section that you go pick up your order? I was just kind of wondering about that, because I'll definitely pass that on to some friends. We are heading to Orlando, particularly for the North American Irish Dance Championship. So if you notice the parks gaining in extra bodies, it's because there are thousands and thousands of dancers coming from all over North America. And believe me, they are going to be doing the Walt Disney World parks as well. And I was just actually with a friend from the dance school who had never been to Walt Disney World, and we spent a few hours, and I was kind of giving her, tips and different ideas and picking days, because she's very, very overwhelmed. She had her thick manual about how to do Walt Disney World, and I just kind of gave her the Reader's Digest abridged version of it, so that kind of to help her through. But at any rate, if any of you guys are wondering what's going on, that is what's going on there. Lewis says they have the Dole Whip donuts at Disney, but not sure if they have it in Disney World. What is a Dole Whip donut, I might ask Lewis, because that sounds pretty amazing to me. Beth says that, this is how how it works. Beth and Todd are adding some things in about the mobile ordering. You make your order, you pay with your credit card that is on file, and then when you arrive at the restaurant, you just click "I'm here," and they will make your order, and you just walk up to the online counter and grab your order. That's brilliant. Todd, you tell them where you are and how close you are, and that tells them what time you're going to arrive, so it's fresh. And yes, a separate way to pick up. Oh, that's wonderful. That is wonderful. Stan is talking about, did you tell her she has to try the Beverly? Okay, it's funny you mentioned that, because I did tell her that. I warned her about it. So any of you that aren't too sure about the Beverly, in Epcot, they have, and I love it actually, it's this little place represented by Coca-Cola, and they have all these kinds of Coca-Cola drinks from around the world that you can try. And the notorious Beverly is like the worst, most bitter tasting thing I've ever had in my life, and most people can't swallow it. But they're really interesting flavors, and some aren't too hard to take. Some are very, very sweet, but some are quite interesting and kind of, believe it or not, have kind of a vegetable taste to them in the Coca-Cola world. Stan, it's called Club Cool. And Todd said to tell her to try to get it on video. I think I'm going to tell either her husband, or I think I'll tell her to have her husband try it and to record it, because I would love to see him try the Beverly. I know I've seen a few people on videos that have tried it, and honestly, it's a tough one. And I will just add that Todd and his daughter were doing the. I'm not good with bad flavors. I mean, who likes them? But they were doing the game with the jelly beans with all the weird flavors, and it was absolutely hilarious. Todd had posted it the other day, and he was very brave because he tasted grass clippings and all these other weird things from these jelly beans that he had. But at any rate, in the Club Cool, you're not going to be tasting anything that weird. But I will say that the Beverly is very, very bitter and a very interesting taste. I don't know how anybody can enjoy that one from whatever country it's from. I'm not too sure what it's from. So this past weekend, they had Dapper Days in Walt Disney World, and I have never had the good fortune to actually partake in Dapper Days, but it looks like so much fun. And from what I understand of it, and Beth, if you are around to let us know, because you did go and you did dress up for it, but it's an opportunity for people to dress up in a dapper way, I guess, from a certain period era maybe, or just representing a character in a lovely way. So I'm just curious to know. I don't think Dapper Days have always been there, or else maybe I'm a little bit behind the times and just didn't hear about it until too late in life. I'm not too sure, but I just thought Beth looked really amazing. And we've got another caller coming in, and let's see, we got it. Hi there, welcome to the show. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Kimberley. This is Beth.
Oh, hi, Beth. Thank you for calling in. You look so adorable in that photo I saw of you in your outfit. Where did you make it? Did you find it? Like, what do people do for outfits for Dapper Days?
Well, Etsy has become an extremely popular place to find really great Dapper Day clothing, but Disney has finally caught on to the fact of how popular it's getting, that as you can see now in Uptown Jewelers and the dress shop in Disney Springs, they've really started to make things for all the Dapper Day fans. So they're jumping in on the merchandise aspect of it, but Etsy especially is a great place to find stuff. Yeah.
Oh gosh, I'll have to remember that, because I just think that it would be really, I think it would be really fun to do that. And what other occasion would you really have to dress up like that? Really, unless you're having a special theme party, or maybe if you're on a cruise ship, you could do that. But I just think that is such a great idea. Tell me, do you know where it originated from or how long it's been going on for, Beth?
It's been going on for over a decade.
Okay.
It is not an official Disney event.
Oh,
Disney does not run the event. It was started by some people who kind of wanted to celebrate how long ago during Walt's day at Disneyland, people used to dress up in their Sunday best to go to Disneyland.
oh.
They wore their heels and their dresses and their skirts, and the men in their suspenders and so forth, and the fedoras. And that's how they went to Disneyland. And so it's kind of a throwback and a nod to the days of Walt. And it's, Dapper Day has kind of gotten a little broader on what you consider dapper, but it mainly focuses like on the 40s and 50s, the poodle skirts and the fedoras and so forth. But you will also see, like I saw the other day at Dapper Day, you will see girls in like flapper dresses and more like 1920s kind of look.
Oh.
So it's really kind of broadened as far as the different styles, but it's all across the board, very much a dressing up in your Sunday best kind of thing.
Oh, I love it.
It's great.
Oh, I love that idea. You know what? I never even connected the idea that when Disneyland first opened, that people would go in their Sunday best. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I mean, I think it would be so classy and so cool, but I wouldn't want to wear heels around the park.
Well, as you know, first day they opened at Disneyland was an absolute nightmare for Disneyland. Yeah. But the women's heels were sinking in to the blacktop because it was so hot that day, and it was so still new that women's heels, which tells you they were all dressed up, were sinking in to the blacktop. So everybody was dressed up. Yeah.
Oh gosh. That is so fun. I really love that idea. And 10 years. So at least I wasn't missing out the fact that, because I've been going to Walt Disney World for 20 some years. And I thought, how come I never knew about this? But I think that unless you're a local, since it's not an advertised Disney event, how would one find out about that? And is there any information for people that are listening that they could find out more about Dapper Days or something along those lines?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it has gotten extremely popular. It used to be kind of just amongst a lot of cast members. They would take the day off and they would go dress up and everything, but it's gotten so big now that they have a website. They have a Facebook page. The website's dapperday.com.
Okay.
At Disney World, I can't speak for Disneyland because they usually do a different weekend or whatever. But at Disney World, they have a spring and a fall.
Oh.
And it used to be one day in the spring, one day in the fall, but now it's 2 days and 2 days. So like this past weekend was Saturday at Magic Kingdom and Sunday at Epcot.
Oh, and
in the fall this year, I believe it's going to be November 18th and 19th, and it's going to be Animal Kingdom on Saturday and Epcot on Sunday.
Isn't that great? I love that. I really love that idea. I really, I will make it to that one day. I'll have to sort it out and make sure that I know ahead of time, because it seems like whenever I come upon it, it's like already happening. So I can't just like skip over to the other side of the country for it. But I really love that idea. And I can see if Disney's already starting to provide some of the costumes or some of the dresses. And I think I've seen some of those beautiful dresses that they have what are those crinolines? I think that's what they call underneath the 50s style dresses to make them
like
poof up.
Petticoats.
Yeah, but I've seen that in Disney Springs. They have a shop there, and I started noticing. Right. Yeah, and actually, you know what? So I actually bought a dress from that shop, but it's or let's see, no, it was at Tower of Terror. They had these beautiful, they were beautiful, blue lace dresses, and maybe they did have them in that shop. I'm trying to think here now, but I actually bought one that I'm hoping to wear on my anniversary on the cruise, because it was just a beautiful lace, and it was a beautiful blue. And I was kind of trying to think, that something old, something blue kind of thing for an anniversary, even though it's a wedding thing, just something blue. But I love their dresses. I love their dresses. They were really, really cute. And I know that, even for the Run Disney events, people really go all out and dress up in these amazing costumes. And I'm just always, I'm at a loss. I'm like, I'm creative, but not that creative, to find these things. So Etsy would be a great place.
Etsy, okay. Pinterest is a great place to get ideas, and then you can go, shop around. I usually try and purchase something that I can add to something I already have, so that I'm not, spending a ton of money on, like my top and my little cardigan that I wore with the mini skirt was all mine, but then I bought the skirt, So I mean, there's lots of great ways to Disney bound or buy pieces here and there.
Okay.
And it is so much fun, and I've seen people throughout the park throughout the entire year dress up in these kind of dresses. But this is the, Dapper Day is the time of year where everybody comes together and dresses on the theme.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But,
wouldn't that be great?
Much fun, and there were so many great outfits this weekend. It was wonderful to see.
I would love to see Disney make that an official day. Do you think they ever will? I wonder.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this organization that's doing it really does, I believe, work really close with Disney on the date, so that they don't hit a marathon weekend or so forth.
Makes sense.
But I know for a fact, being my child a cast member, she heard from her higher ups that there was over 75,000 in Magic Kingdom on Saturday. And mind you, that's not capacity, but it was full.
Yeah, that's getting up there for sure.
So that gives you an idea of how popular it's gotten.
Yeah, that's really neat. And I think the whole idea of Dapper Days is probably I don't know, but do you think it's more like kind of strolling around? You're kind of representing that era, and it's not so much of jumping on the rides as many as you can or whatever. Is it just more experiencing, taking it all in the costumes?
They put out more PhotoPass people than any other time of year.
Oh, okay.
They bring out all the old cars that they usually drive down Main Street sometimes.
Oh, really?
And they put them in certain locations around the hub so that you can get pictures with them. And all of the greenery areas that are now around the hub, those become the places to pose for pictures in all of your dapper clothes and so forth. So PhotoPass people are working full tilt on Dapper Days. And then you find people who just come with their cameras and they just walk around the park and find wonderful places to take pictures. So it's very much more of a just being in the park and taking pictures and enjoying and meeting up with other Dapper Day people.
Neat.
And it was.
Gosh.
I didn't notice the wait lines being like crazy, considering how many people are in the park.
Okay.
They weren't bad.
Okay.
They weren't bad.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Todd was just mentioning that you guys will maybe keep people posted on your group page, because I think that, there's always room for a few more, on those days. I think that's just a really fun opportunity. And I know that they have the Dapper Days at Disneyland, and they also have Bat Days, they call them, at Disneyland, that apparently was before Dapper Days. And Bat Days is actually a nod to the Gothic kind of wear and all that. It's a very interesting subculture. Mind you, there's a lot of interesting differences between Disneyland and Walt Disney World, like the Disneyland gangs that I learned about, and they're all very respectful. They follow the rules and things like that, of course, with Disneyland. But they have like the Tiki, what are they called? The Tiki Tuners or something like that. They have different gangs that belong to Disneyland. But they're social clubs. They're actually just social clubs. And so anybody that wants to sort of join a group or a sort of a sub family from the Disney family will check out these different folks. And I did hear and did know about these Disney Bat Day, but I don't think that's in Walt Disney World. I'm pretty sure it's not in Walt Disney World.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some at Disney World also, but I really do think that those are much more popular at Disneyland.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
It's great though. It's finding like-minded people who want to dress up or whatever. It's fun.
Oh, that's great. And do they extend the hours by any chance, Beth, on those days, or do they kind of keep them just within
it's about typical for that time of year. I don't think they cater to making the hours longer because of that. Okay. Most people on Dapper Day, they show up by about 10 a.m. So I was there at 8 a.m. at rope drop, and I didn't see hardly anybody until 10. That's when they started strolling in. And by the time 5 o'clock goes around, you'll see all the women changing out of their heels and shoving them in their bag, and they're in their
flats.
They're in their flats, and they're on their way out. And so
oh man,
it's not like all of those people need that extra time. They literally are coming out to be all together, to take pictures, to have fun, and then they leave. So no, I don't think Disney caters to them in that way as far as hours go.
Sure.
But I'm excited that they've started doing more than one day, and they're doing one more park.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Dapper Day in Epcot, World Showcase.
Gosh.
Did you think of all the wonderful places
Amazing.
to take pictures?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
and the Epcot, and sorry, what was the date on the Epcot one again? That's November, is that November 19th?
Well, this past weekend... Yeah, this past weekend it was the Sunday. So this past Saturday was Magic, and then November is the 18th is Animal Kingdom, and the 19th is Epcot.
Awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness, that would be so fantastic.
But I will. Todd tasked me with the Dapper Day update, so I could definitely do that.
Yeah.
So stay tuned to the Walt Disney Group, and I'll keep everybody updated.
Awesome.
But by the time that the fall Disney dates happen for Dapper Day, they'll already have decided on spring. So I'll keep up on the website for Dapper Day and certainly blast it out whenever they come out with the 2019 date.
That's great. And then people can also kind of check out those websites and Facebook pages themselves as well. So that's really good. Thank you so much, Beth. Thank you so much for calling in and telling us about it, because I always learn something new from you. You are so fortunate that you can go there as often as you do. And it's always good to hear from you and hear about your experiences. So thank you so much for calling in today.
Oh, no problem. I'll be down there at least 2 more days this week. So.
Okay. All right. I know. All right. Take care, Beth. We'll talk to you soon. Me. Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. Good night. Okay. Bye-bye. So I just wanted to say, there's a few of you guys that know a friend. We have a mutual friend, Father George, and he's a Catholic priest in Pennsylvania, and he is really a lovely human being, and he loves Dapper Days. And I know he missed it this spring, but he tends to make it to one of the Dapper Days, and I think that's one of his favorite things to do is to dress. And he has a wonderful top hat and all of that. And I know that Lewis was just saying, and I think I agree, Lewis. I don't know how this would be judged though, but he goes, wouldn't it be cool if Disney would make a contest where you wear your best Dapper and whoever wins gets a 5-day, 4-night magical stay at Disney? I couldn't even imagine. Stan was wondering how in the world you would judge that, but there would have to be something. But I'm thinking that's a lot of people to kind of go through, I guess. But that would be really cool. Or to have anybody that is participating in Dapper Days to just actually put their name into into a hat or something like that, to win something. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, Stan, I was kind of curious to know why they wouldn't be doing a Dapper Day at Hollywood Studios, except they would maybe be competing with the citizens of Hollywood that are already there. I'm not too sure. I just actually wanted to say a quick hello to Federico Macy, who's joined us, and Stan Eastchuck, who joined us. And I'm really actually delighted to see Stan Eastchuck on here. Short little quick story. So I went to school, which is my best friend in junior high and high school, with his daughter. And that was a long time ago. And he's actually calling from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where I grew up. So it's really lovely that you could join us today, Stan. Beth is telling us that they did do a Hollywood studio last year for Dapper Day. Okay, so they must have to change it up a little bit because of the fact that there's 4 parks and there's two different Dapper Days. But Epcot, I think, would be a fantastic place to go for well, all of them would really be. And Animal Kingdom, that would be really kind of interesting to get some photo opportunities in a jungle like sort of section or whatever in your period costume. I think that would be fantastic. So that is really what I think I'm going to be checking out after the podcast is the Facebook pages and the website for Dapper Days, and see if that's something that I can swing to go to. At any rate, I think that I'm going to wrap up the show. We're going to the top of the hour tonight. And I just wanted to thank all of you guys for joining me. And Louis, I'm counting on you to send me the information on a Dole Whip donut. Sounds quite deadly for me right now. I'm trying to lose weight for the summer and get fit, but I won't always have to not eat something like that. So I'm kind of curious to know what it looks like. If it's just a donut or if there's Dole Whip on the donut as well. I'm not too sure. I'll have to find that out. But yeah, please send me a photo of that. Wanted to give a shout out to Stan. Hope he's feeling better. He had an eye surgery about, I think it was over a month ago now, and he was not able to read or see much at all. So I'm glad to have Stan looking like he's feeling much better this evening. And just want to thank my hubby for joining me. He's 8 hours ahead, and I'm sure he's probably ready to, I think he's either flying to Ireland tonight or he's going to bed. I'm not too sure. I'll have to find out. But again, thank you for joining me on the 24th episode. And we'll see you next week at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. For now, be safe, everybody out there, and have a wonderful week. Bye for now.